pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening. Can we go ahead and start by taking the roll?
Trustee Spurling. Here. Trustee Lee.
Yeah.
Trustee Hines.
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman. Yes. Trustee Marisak. Trustee Bond.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum this evening. First item this is the special village board meeting. The first item would be public comment. Is there any member of the public that's here this evening that wishes to speak? Okay, come on down and sign in, put your name and address.
Hi, my name is Bob Walker. I live in Montgomery, 2334 Ferdinand Lane. I'm here to address an issue that's been getting a lot of time on our community webpage recently. That has to be with the sirens. I know we lack funding, and I know it's on the agenda. I'm one of the fortunate people who can faintly hear the sirens. And in our neighborhood, some people do, some people don't. And my daughter lives in Blackberry Crossing.
Is your microphone on?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm having a tough time hearing you, that's all.
Okay. Is that better? My daughter, my son-in-law, my 5-month-old grandson, and my 5-year-old grandson live in Blackberry Crossing. A few days ago, I asked them if they ever hear the sirens. They say no. They can be heard from, we're not sure if it's Oswego or where. And this, of course, took it to another level for me. I know we don't have funding, but I want to say we have a population in Montgomery, based on, 2010 census, which borders on 35% of the population being 19 or under. I would think we should be able to find a way. I know it's difficult and when funding is not there, but I think we have to draw upon the lessons learned to the poor people of Oklahoma. We have to find a way. We have to make everybody hear an emergency. I think in our location, it's not a matter of if a tornado is going to hit. I think it's a matter of when. And I would like to implore all of you to be creative, come up with some financing, find a way so every citizen in the town of Montgomery can be forewarned if we ever are approached with such an emergency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Nancy Evans, and I live just a few blocks away from Bob. I'm the Neighborhood Watch Chairman for Blackberry Crossing West. And I did post on Facebook just a general question, can anybody hear the sirens? I got a text message from my girlfriend saying, you're in the basement, right? I'm like, no, I was in the kitchen cooking. The sirens went off. The only reason why she knew the sirens went off was because one of her family members in Lakewood Creek, they live like maybe 3 blocks away from the police department, heard them, and they sent her a text message, and she lives right across the street from me. So she was mass texting to everybody. Basically from where we live at in Blackberry Crossing West, from Ferdinand Lane, is what I gathered from the web posting, from everyone's posting, all the way back to Dixon. You cannot hear the sirens. There are 2 daycares that are, one's on Monarcos and one's on Whirl Way, that are licensed daycares. The state knows about them. DCFS is aware. One my son will be attending in a few weeks. They do their monthly drills. They do them according to the sirens, but the daycare owner and supervisor says that she actually has to get all the kids very quiet, and she has to stand outside on the front porch on the Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month is that they do it, and listen very, very carefully. And then she comes in the house and she does the makeshift siren noise so she can do it with them. But that's on a day, that's when the day is calm, that's when the kids are quiet, and that's with her outside. Last week when we were having the inclementing weather, we couldn't be outside. You can't have your windows open, and if you guys got kids, 9 out of 10 times, your child is not calm in the house. They're not quiet. And usually TV's going and stuff. Fortunately, we have Dish. Our TV went out, so we couldn't even get the warnings on television. But basically, from Ferdinand Place all the way back to Dixon, there was no siren noise at all. And in the 3 years that I've been there, I've never heard a siren go off. And I stand behind Bob, and so does 99% of my subdivision standing behind me with coming here and asking you guys to do what you can to help us out.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this isn't the first time that we've heard a situation like this. I know the chief's going to give an update later. Would you mind pushing that up and giving that update now while these folks are still here?
Sure, thank you very much. We have discussed this in the past. There is, we do, with our outdoor warning systems, we are intended to save lives and prevent property loss. The current map, there's a handout. This map shows where our two sirens are. One is located at Public Works and the other one at the Police Department. The coverage, as you can see, on the far east side, there's a siren at Phillips Park, so that covers the east side of town. On the southwest side of our town, our police department siren has a 9,000-foot radius. So that is the orange circle that you see. And the southwest corner, it falls outside that radius. There's a couple things. I spoke with EEI tonight. We could move the siren. That's a possibility. Further west. We can also discuss that, having a recommendation to purchase another siren for the southwest part of town in the fall for our next FY15 budget. We also, Pete Waller's had a good suggestion that I talked to Oswego to discuss future development in Yorkville out on the northwest and northeast corners of their cities and our southwest corner. We also want to consider our annexations moving west. If we do put in a third siren to get some coverage for our west side town. I talked to Fulton Technologies. Our sirens were working. We test them every week, and they're working properly. Now, there's a lot of things go into the siren, weather, wind, rain. They all have an effect on the hearing that. It's an outdoor warning system. It's not intended to hear while you're inside your house with kids, the TV, music going. You won't hear it. So we will have further discussions to see if we can get that into our capital improvement budget for FY15. That's my recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any board comments on this? Yeah.
There's a program offered by the Montgomery Police Department called Nixle that allows you to receive a message to your cell phone. Now, many of this younger age demographic have cell phones, and some of us, we've abandoned our normal telephone, and a cell phone is all we have. And I did get text messages alerting me to the weather issue. That's available through Nixle for free, and it also includes Amber Alerts and other emergency issues. And it's also available through the National Weather Service, so I actually got two of them. I think that may be a modern solution to the sirens. The sirens were created in the 60s, if not before, and the houses are tighter and the windows are better and the TVs are in every room of the house nowadays. I think part of the solution here is going to be looking at a multitude of ways of gathering that information on a timely fashion. So Nixle is linked off of the village website, and if you Google National Weather Service, you'll find a way to get their text alerts as well.
What's the estimated cost to install another tornado siren. I'll present that question to, I guess, and any one of you.
You know, I'll answer that. I spoke to John Vistine from Fulton Technologies today that the approximate cost is between $35,000 and $40,000.
I just have kind of an easy question. Are we required by any sort of law to fully encompass our residents with this, with our outdoor warning system?
No, we have, the Federal Emergency Management Agency has guidelines for outdoor warning systems. We followed them back when we entered into this agreement with Aurora.
Okay. Any more questions or comments on that at this time? I appreciate you guys coming, and I completely agree that it's unacceptable that portions of our town don't meet our minimum requirements. I mean, it's unacceptable in my mind. So it's something that we definitely have to talk about. We're still in the public comment, so if you did want to come back up again, that's fine.
I think, we definitely, I mean, we need to, we heard it, but we live literally 100 yards away from the police station, so it kind of scared us. We need to at least make it so all of our residents can hear what's going on. And yeah, I understand the whole, we're in a technology-based world, but that gets your attention better than really a text message will.
Just looking at the map Dan presented, there looks like there's approximately a 25 to 30% overlap. A, what would the cost of moving the tower be? And B, would it enhance the warning zone? Next, Montgomery is, if I understand correctly, but, you know, we're in Kendall and Kane County. Is there any county funding, any state funding, or any federal funding that could offer us some format of relief under any program whatsoever to expedite this action? As I said, I'm speaking as a grandfather, and, you know, maybe it's self-serving having 2 grandkids less than a mile from my house, but I'm sure any of you that are parents, there is a concern, and I would love to reiterate and mention the poor people of Oklahoma. They've learned the hard way. Montgomery can't learn the hard way ever,
Absolutely.
with a population of 35% 19 and under. Thank you.
And maybe one of the best things that we can do this evening is have staff go back, look at the potential cost for relocation. We know the cost for a new siren. And I know previously we talked about doing a study for the area to see where the overlaps occur and where some of our, because it's not just that portion of the city. There's, well, there's overlap in Aurora. I keep forgetting that. So maybe that's the best route we can take today is have staff go back, look at this, analyze the costs, and I completely agree with you on the issue, so.
Sounds good. We will bring a future update to the board on the results of that research and
Yeah, one other quick comment. Activating the siren is 2 or 3 things. Confirmed sighting of a funnel cloud by a police officer or fireman or a weather-trained official. If there's an active funnel cloud that has touched down, they'll also set the siren off. If you recall from June of 2011, we had 80-mile-an-hour straight winds here, and the sirens weren't activated because there was no sight or anything of a funnel cloud or a tornado warning or even a touchdown. It was all straight winds, but we had a lot of damage, and you would swear that that damage was occurred from a tornado, but it wasn't. It was straight winds. They call it the straight winds, National Weather Service. So you still have to be vigilant and aware of what's going around outside. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on in the meeting, and we'll keep you guys, both you and the press and the residents apprised of this as we move forward. We'll move on. There's no consent agenda this evening, so we'll move on to item 6, which is items for separate action. The first one, Resolution 2013-00011, a resolution of supporting authorizing use of revolving loan funds. And I will ask Assistant Administrator Ludwig for a report on this.
Thank you. Actually, Freddie Beth Schmuddy, the village's development consultant on their revolving fund, is here tonight. If you have any questions about this, what you have before you is a resolution of support authorizing the use of the revolving funds, which we saw a presentation on in May. It is a 10-year, $1.5 million loan based on the creation of 100 new jobs in the village. And with that, I will ask Freddie to make a few additional comments.
Thank you, Jamie. The revolving loan fund board met last week and has recommended approval to the village board. The approval is a $1.5 million low-interest loan to Butterball LLC. As Jamie mentioned, the proposed loan will be used for purchase of equipment for an operational expansion. There will be 100 new jobs created in the village and a new investment of $24 million.
Could you go into the revolving fund and how that was created, just for the benefit of the residents that are here today, where that money comes from?
Absolutely. The revolving fund was capitalized as a result of two federal grants that were awarded to Montgomery, one in 2004 and one in 2007. When those loans were repaid, the interest and principal remained in the village to serve as a means of capitalizing the revolving fund. And over the course of time, the village has been able to, over the last 24 years, the village has been able to take those initial $800,000 in loan proceeds and actually loan $3.7 million to various companies for job creation and job expansion. At the moment, the revolving fund has adequate funds, obviously, to be able to proceed programmatically. The application complies with all of the requirements. The recommendation from the revolving fund board also included a financial analysis that was done by staff at Castle Bank in Oswego.
Excellent. Are there any comments for,
It's my understanding that if these funds aren't lent out or used, that potentially the state can take them back if they sit dormant for a period of time?
That is a possibility.
Okay. Thank you.
any other questions? I know I was on the phone, well, staff, and I was on the phone with the people at the state today, and the state, separate of this, the state also is approving some sort of incentives for this project, so this is Butterball's first project in Illinois. It's the first, to my knowledge, correct?
That's correct.
So this kind of investment in our community is an excellent project, and I'm very excited moving forward.
I do have two press releases, one from the state of Illinois and one from the village on this project, for anyone interested.
If I might, I would just like to acknowledge the fact that this project was a really good example of a working partnership between the village, MEDC, and the state. And it's really exciting because the ability to be able to generate 100 new jobs is something that doesn't happen on a regular basis. And the partnership of all of those entities coming together and working with the company is very good news for the village. And the recommendation from the revolving fund board is one piece. The EDGE tax credit from the state of Illinois is another piece. And just as a comment, it's important to know that Butterball's presence in Illinois and certainly in Montgomery is a result of their December 2012 acquisition of Gusto Packing.
Okay. And Shar, do you have some comments on this? I know that you've been a partner, the director of the MEDC, been a partner with Gusto Packing for years, working with them. Do you have, I know that you worked on this project for quite some time as well. Do you have any comments on the project this evening?
Thank you, Matt. Just a few things. I would also like to acknowledge other people that had helped me with this project, which also included Kane County. Jesse Vasquez helped me. One of the first things I was concerned about was the Kane County impact fees. So we got through that hurdle. ComEd was able to jump through a few hurdles as well and attended our meetings with us promptly. And Kay Hatcher's office also was there just in case I had any problems with the state. So I think, again, like Freddie said, it was a cooperative effort, and it shows you how government works very well. And I thank everybody that was involved, and this is a win-win for Montgomery. So thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank Christian Sanders, too, who helped in that, and Mary Beth mentioned her name, but she is one of our new board members, and from the MEDC, and they jumped right in to help, too. The Caballeros have been in Montgomery for years, and they've loved Montgomery, and he's always helped with community events, too. So we're happy that Butterball has got the same type of attitude.
Excellent. Okay. Are there any other comments on the issue?
The resolution was not in your packet. I did pass it around and do have copies for anybody interested in that.
Okay, hearing no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2013-011.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Youngerman?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Heinz?
And the motion carries. I'll move on to item B this evening, which is Ordinance 1569, regulating wages in the village, and I will again ask Assistant Administrator Ludwig for her report on the issue.
Sure. This item is pretty standard. The village is required every year to be in compliance with the state statute and set the prevailing wages for laborers and mechanics in Kane and Kendall County. So this ordinance does that. So with that, I'd answer any questions.
Are there any questions on this? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve Ordinance 1569. Moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Take the roll.
Trustee Heinz? Trustee Marisak? Sorry. Trustee Youngerman?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
And that carries 6-0. We'll move on. There's no items for discussion this evening, and we've put new or unfinished business on for the second meeting. So with that, we'll move on to 8, which is executive session. I entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of an employee pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Second. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Youngerman?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Heinz?
Back to order. Item 9 on this agenda is to adjourn. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And take the roll, please.
Trustee Heinz?
Yes.
Trustee Youngerman?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes?
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Excellent.